this is a normal meeting.
Yeah. Sarah is today, so Sarah is giving us the second.
You were commenting. That was something about
I want to make sure this gets zero.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I finally looked at it.
The scarf off soon, it's really hot.
I'm like, I didn't know you were. I'm like, Taylor was talking about it. I don't know.
Okay, yes, please do. Yeah. Yeah. I don't, it's less, I mean, I guess this is a little bit more difficult. I want them to put their own signs. Very good. Yeah. Like, charges have been them. They haven't been repainted. They've been transported by our, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be like your own property. It's your own property. They have to maintain it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yep. Great working with you.
Did you ask Stephanie what's happening?
You too. I wasn't talking to you. Don't worry, I wasn't talking to you.
Yeah, that was Wayne.
Did you?
Yeah, so what the sheriff said,
Last time,
I'm concerned about it at first.
you better not have any more kids.
They agreed to remove it. At our
Yeah.
Good, are you?
Good.
Yeah, what I'm
Busy,
like
busy
this,
time of
there's
year.
a lot of businesses that don't do anything with garbage and that flies all over the place. If you go to Bex, like that neighborhood around Bex is just full of garbage. And Sherman's has people that pick up garbage. So I mean, that's, yeah.
Sure. I mean, why not?
But so I was impressed there.
Today I got
So they wouldn't put those fences up to prevent the garbage.
That's a big.
Yeah. Yeah,
we got a lot of developments. And,
right. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I mean, they're making the effort that no other business makes.
The staff I know.
Right.
Yeah. Some of us have to work.
engineer and
I wish I worked your hours. Yeah, I have these. And it's just been Eric wants to go this weekend. Friday.
Yeah, she wanted,
I could go Friday.
she asked me if I would do
Saturday,
like
I have
a
to take
teacher
you
too, so that she could
to
say,
Manhattan.
but I'll do it physical.
theory, retired. They retired.
So I'm like,
Board member ran against the
well, this is like my first weekend, maybe Memorial Day.
Oh, he may have.
Dude, but it's not even winterized.
Oh, there it is.
He went there and got the golf cart and brought it home. He wants to drive the golf cart, but he's too afraid to drive it on the street. So I just drive it on the street to test it.
I never wanted to know.
No. He's like, you do that. I'm like, okay. He's like, no, I just put it on the trailer.
Let her run and she just,
Like, okay. What are they gonna do, write me a ticket?
she doesn't have strength. She's not afraid of anything.
Yeah. Like, she's not, she's, I got joyriding, does not know a stranger.
14 months. But then you get 14 months. But she also doesn't know.
Trustee DeMore. Yeah. Well, I mean, some people ride their bike up and down the alley at all hours of the night.
Well,
I know they're just surprised all the time.
I've caught her. She just gets up there and just bails. Yeah. I'm not that quick anymore.
Right? Loud.
Birds and parade. Oh, I was in our backyard.
So for that,
Trail.
that was all right.
I think it has some roadkill on the trail or something.
Yeah.
1 minute, Stephanie. I thought we talked about financing to some artists here in town.
You know, what's funny is, for my first term, so we got elected in those street. I've been for every one of them. I'm on TV, my last one.
okay. No, that is a. Right. You should. I think you should.
Okay, no, yeah, she is, that's,
It is 5:30. I'd like to call the meeting to order. If you would stand for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome everyone who's watching from home. An exciting night here in Peoria Heights as we prepare to swear in a new board and a new mayor. So very exciting night. Thanks to Public Works for having the park, Tower Park, looking so sharp, Chris, so thank you. Fountain looks great, and so does the park. Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee DeVore,
present.
Trustee Gat,
Present.
Trustee Kazam,
Present.
Trustee Reichert,
Present.
Trustee Wigginton,
Present.
Trustee Weisenberg.
Present.
All right, good to see everyone. We have a quorum. Next on the agenda is the approval of the public hearing and meeting minutes from April 15th, 2025. I'd ask for a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes. Any questions or corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. All right, next I have a presentation and plaque in honor of Trustee Gat. All right, Jeff. All right. I don't think there's a time in my life when I didn't know Jeff Gat, and I didn't know his family. Grew up with his parents, some of the greatest people that I've known, and your whole family, Jeff, is inspiration, all your brothers and sisters, you and your mom and dad. Can't thank you enough for your service. The first is your plaque. The Village of Peoria Heights presented to Trustee Jeff Gat in appreciation of your service to the community in the Village of Peoria Heights Board of Trustees, 2017 to 2025. And then I have a proclamation. Whereas Jeff Gat has served the Village of Peoria Heights as a trustee for 4 terms in 2 distinct eras, including the last 8 years. Whereas Trustee Gat has been a steadying influence on the Board of Trustees, often advocating for common sense approaches to something complex and controversial issues. Whereas Trustee Gat has been an unwavering voice for local independence, pushing for Peoria Heights solutions to uniquely Peoria Heights challenges. Whereas Trustee Gat can be a man of few words, though not shying away from speaking out on behalf of sometimes the overlooked little guy. Whereas it will be forever impossible to look at the rehabilitated woodpecker mounted on the iconic water tower in Tower Park without thinking of Trustee Gat, a stickler for the consistent maintenance of village properties. Whereas Trustee Gat has been an amiable team player, always easy to work with on matters large and small. We, the Village Board and Mayor of Peoria Heights, hereby immortalize Trustee Gat's signature phrase, "I make a motion to adjourn," while pledging ourselves to short and to-the-point meetings in his memory. May your future be full of Alwyn's provided brisket smoking on the backyard grill, a fitting reward for all your contributions over the years. Michael Lee Fahlen, Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. Mike. See, what is it? 17, and then, 2007 was the first 8? Yeah, I think I've done enough. For some other people to come here, new blood. I can't, when I was my first set of, we started the first TIF, and then I took a couple years off, came back, we were still doing the TIF, and now we're starting a new one down below the hill, so I've gotten to know TIF pretty well. Didn't realize how much of an education this was. Mayor Allen at the time had talked me into it. Oh, no big deal. You won't have to do hardly anything, you know, liar. But I appreciate what everybody's done, and let's keep the water department going. I can't have done any of this without my wife, who's at home with our great-granddaughter and taking care of things at home, but I'm looking forward to taking some time off, and I'm really glad to see the fire department is coming along. I mean, years ago, I did say we need to do baby steps, let's get this going, which, though, once we got it going, I wanted to go, let's spend all the money, let's get it going, because we need it. We got developments going, and the fire department needs people and needs to be improved upon, and I'm glad to see we've got the numbers going back up. So I hope you guys do a good job taking care of this. So thanks, and have a good evening.
Okay, next we have comments from the audience. If anyone is here tonight would like to address the board, please come forward to the podium, give your name and address, and try and keep your remarks under 5 minutes. Comments from the audience are open.
Mayor Fahlen, I have one question for the board. Our driveway, the slope going out is down so much we're dragging the bottom of the car. We've got concrete men coming over this week to do work in the backyard. Can we have them potentially look at that and see what they can do?
Mr. Chandler, can we get over there tomorrow and take a look?
Yeah, I can drive by and take a look at it.
We'll do that, Ray.
All right.
It's nice to have you back. Good seeing you. So we'll get over there first thing in the morning and make sure that happens.
All right.
Any other comments? Any other comments? Public comment going once, twice. Public comments closed. We'll be at new business. The first is approval of a purchase of a street seat for Feels Like Home. Trustee DeVore, I'd ask for a motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve the purchase of a street seat for Feels Like Home.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Go ahead, Trustee DeVore.
So what you see in front of you is an invoice for us to purchase a shipping container for this business. This would be in consistency with what we've done for the other businesses that need outdoor dining, food and beverage. So this just gives them a little bit more space to be able to entertain outside without it completely shutting down passability of the sidewalk.
I thought I saw Brooke here. Is Brooke? Oh, please come up. So just a little history on the street seats, what we call street seats. I think we got those about 7 years ago, 6 or 7 years ago. We felt it would help distinguish the Heights in a certain way and add some character to the downtown, but also a lot of the restaurants during the summer hours and bars, they're literally full on the inside. So this allowed them to have extra space outside, which a lot of people love to sit outdoors and sit in these street seats. And it allowed the business to generate more money at very little cost to them, and it generated more sales tax for Peoria Heights. So welcome, and you've got a fairly new business, so while we've got a big audience, why don't you tell everyone about your business and then why you want the street seat?
So we have cold pressed juice, smoothies, smoothie bowls, healthy options. And if any of you are familiar with the previous Flower Box location, it's kind of small. So we could fit probably 20 people comfortably inside, but this summer with the door open, we could have probably around 50 people in and out. And we actually just got our liquor license as well, so we'd like to offer some healthier cocktail options and bring the community together that way. We're excited.
Thank you. So questions for Trustee DeVore or Brooke?
I have one question. So the money for this, how's that being paid?
It comes out of the general fund.
Okay.
I think the reasoning for that was based on the fact that it brings in sales tax dollars by having the additional space, and so then it will come out of that same fund from where the sales tax dollars go.
Okay.
And when we started this, there wasn't any money in the business development
Yeah.
district fund either, so very little. So we were very conservative with that money at that time, so.
Right.
So the
Could-
last, oh, I'm sorry.
Could this
Trustee
potentially be a BDD expense?
I think so, Mr. Aldrich, I believe it could be.
We'd have to look into that. I mean, because it's a mobile type thing, there may be some restrictions, but we could look into that.
Council, do you have an opinion on that?
I'm not sure, Nick is here. Do you think, you know what our street seats are? Okay, very good.
Nick, I didn't hear you. It could be okay. That's something the new board may want to consider, because I would encourage you all to revisit the BDD and the policy, and Mayor-elect Wigginton might be wanting to take a look at that, so.
Maybe.
All right, anyone else?
The only thing I want to add before we move on, Mayor, is Wayne, I know that we're working hard right now to kind of look at the zoning code, and obviously it doesn't pertain exactly to this business, but can we make sure that there's some kind of code listed for these street seats inside the zoning code?
Yeah, we'll look into that. We're actually having meetings next week on the zoning code, so all those folks will be in town, so.
Yeah,
we'll bring
I
that
just
up
think
then.
that if we have regulations on everything else, especially in that
Right.
corridor, we should have regulations that way too.
Right, right, okay.
I
thank
agree. I
you.
think there are two topics. One is maintenance of them, so they remain attractive and an asset to the community, but also there needs to be a healthy balance between parking and street seats. So I feel like we need to take a good look at that and make sure that we're not taking up too many parking spaces. You know, just like anything else that we do up here, we have to have a balance.
Anyone else? Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee DeVore?
Aye.
Trustee Gat?
Aye.
Trustee Kazam?
Aye.
Trustee Reichert? Aye. Trustee Wigginton?
Aye.
Trustee Weisenberg?
Aye.
All right, that passes. Good luck, Brooke, with that. All right, next would be approval of fence installation request by Sherman's Warehouse. Trustee DeVore, I'd ask for a motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve the fence installation by Sherman's Warehouse.
Second.
Go ahead, Trustee DeVore.
So previously, there have been a lot of complaints about trash blowing from the Sherman's facility into the trail and surrounding area. So I know that Sherman's has had staff walking through and picking up trash to help alleviate it spreading throughout the community, but they're still having a little bit of an issue getting it contained. So they are wanting to put up a 6-foot chain link fence that has privacy slats through it. It's going to be 460 feet along their parking lot, starting from the east side going towards the west, just ending at the end of their property. It is going to be just 1 foot into the easement. This did go through zoning, and the zoning board did make a recommendation that we approve the fence.
Okay. Questions for Trustee DeVore? Discussion?
Well, I just would want to say that I drove back there to take a look and make sure, just to kind of get a visual of everything. This is along the trail. There's a chain link fence on the other side of the trail by the Williams Brothers property. And you, as far as I can tell, particularly in the summer, like right now, if this were erected, you would not see it from the trail because there's like foliage and, you know.
Yeah, there's a tree line, though, almost the entire length of where the fence will go. The picture that was sent to me was that they were also going to use green slats, like through the fence, so I think that's really going to blend in well with the tree line that's already existing there.
We have a representative from Sherman's here. Is there anything you'd like to add to the conversation?
No, I think that covered it. We're just, trying to keep the trail clean. And like Trustee DeVore mentioned, we've had volunteers and we've tried chicken wire and everything else, and it's just not working. So this will just help us keep it more contained and make it easier to clean up along the fence. But like she said, you really can't see it even during the summertime or springtime. It's really a winter problem when the trash gets trapped down in the foliage there. And no matter what, just due to the nature of trash compactors and the types of packaging that we have with styrofoam, it just escapes every time they empty it. So we're trying our best to keep it clean.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah,
I had a question for you, sir, that I didn't ask in my emails. Do you plan to use a little bit heavier of a gauge of chain link? I know there's multiple gauges of it, but due to the longevity of it being there, plus with the amount of crosswind that you're getting there, Are you using a heavier gauge, and if not, are you concerned about it sagging over time if you don't use a heavier gauge?
I believe so. I'm not super familiar with the different gauges of chain link, but this has a 9 gauge on the proposal that we got.
Okay.
So I believe it's a commercial heavy-duty fence.
Okay,
And
thank
we'll
you.
keep it looking good, for sure.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Madam Clerk?
Trustee DeVore?
Aye.
Trustee Gat?
Aye.
Trustee Kazam?
Aye.
Trustee Reichert?
Aye.
Trustee Wigginton?
Aye.
Trustee Weisenberg?
Aye.
All right, that passes. Next is approval of the use of Tower Park for the Chris Kringle Market on November 28th and 29th and December 5th and 6th, 2025. Trustee DeVore would ask for a motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve the use of Tower Park for the Chris Kringle Market.
And a
Second.
Okay, go ahead, Trustee DeVore.
The Peoria Heights Chamber is wanting to continue doing their annual event every year, and so they are just asking to use Tower Park for their Kringle huts and to do the tree lighting ceremony and everything. Same 2 weekends as we've done every year, pretty status quo.
Lots of faces in the audience. Hannah, are you here, or anyone from the chamber want to speak to this motion? Okay, any questions? Discussion? Madam Clerk?
Trustee DeVore?
Aye.
Trustee Gat?
Aye.
Trustee Kazam?
Aye.
Trustee Reichert?
Aye.
Trustee Wigginton?
Aye.
Trustee Weisenberg?
Aye.
All right, that passes. Next is Resolution 2025-10, a resolution approving a joint funding agreement for Tri-County Planning Commission Fiscal Year 26 Unified Planning Work Program. Trustee Reichert, I'd ask for a motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve Resolution 25-10.
In a second, please.
Second.
Go ahead, Trustee Reichert.
Okay, it looks like we're going to enter in to this agreement, and our contribution to it is just over $3,000. That's 20%. Would it be half of 20%, right?
Yeah, the federal percentage is 20%. So of that 20%,
We pay
that's
10.
split between all the different agencies in the regional areas. So our cut is a fairly small percentage.
Yeah, about $3,287.
Thank you. Any questions? Discussion?
Is this annual? Have we did we do
Yes.
this every year, right? Okay.
Yeah, and just for those of you who don't know, the Tri-County Regional Planning Commission is the pipeline for all federal transportation dollars coming into the area. I can't say enough about the good work they do, and we've been pretty darn successful in grant opportunities with Tri-County, so this is annual event. Madam Clerk?
Trustee DeVore?
Aye.
Trustee Gat?
Aye.
Trustee Kazam?
Aye.
Trustee Reichert?
Aye.
Trustee Wigginton?
Aye.
Trustee Weisenberg?
Aye.
All right, that passes. Next is acceptance of a letter of resignation by Mr. Kevin Shields from the Metropolitan Airport Authority of Peoria Board of Commissioners. I'd ask for a motion to accept the resignation.
With regret,
With regret?
I move to accept.
Second.
All right, Madam Clerk, do you have that in front of you?
I do, Mayor. Would you
Can
like
you
that read
please-
for the record?
Yes, please.
Of course. This is addressed to Mayor Mike Fahlen. Dear Mayor Fahlen, I am writing to formally resign from my appointed position as Commissioner of the Metropolitan Airport Authority of Peoria effective immediately. It has been an honor to serve the village of Peoria Heights and contribute to the progress and oversight of our airport operations. I am grateful for the opportunity to have worked alongside dedicated colleagues and community members to advance the mission of the authority. Thank you for the trust and confidence you placed in me with this appointment. I wish you and the village continued success in the years ahead. Sincerely, Kevin Shields.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Kevin did a fine job on the Airport Authority, and unfortunately, he decided to resign, and I wish he would have stayed. He really was a fixture on the authority in a short amount of time, so I want to thank Kevin for all of his work on the Airport Authority. Madam Clerk, please call the roll on that.
Trustee DeVore?
Aye.
Trustee Gat?
Aye.
Trustee Kazam?
Aye.
Trustee Reichert?
Aye.
Trustee Wigginton?
Aye.
Trustee Weisenberg?
Aye.
All right, that passes. Real quickly, any committee chairs want to report anything just very quickly? If not, we're,
I have some miscellaneous business, though.
okay, we'd be at miscellaneous business.
Trustee DeVore? Mayor Phelan, if you would join us at the podium. Not yet, not this meeting. So, Mayor Phelan, I have a proclamation here that I want to read to you, and I'll just start by saying, whereas Michael Phelan has been the mayor of Peoria Heights for the last 8 years, whereas the Phelan name has been synonymous with public service in Peoria Heights and beyond, starting with the mayor's father, Ed, through his own contributions, including 20 years on the Peoria County Board, and now his son, Danny, following in those footsteps. Whereas Mayor Phelan has overseen the restoration of the village's fiscal health, leaving behind a budget situation that now routinely produces surpluses, even in the most challenging of years. Whereas Mayor Phelan has presided over a period of rising stature and significant economic growth. Whereas the village under Mayor Phelan's leadership has made previously unmatched investments in public infrastructure, including a water system well past its expiration date, with major road improvements on the near horizon. Whereas the village likewise has made unprecedented investments in public safety. Whereas the village government during the Phelan administration has made all these improvements while lowering or maintaining its tax levy, now at 5 consecutive years and counting. Whereas Mayor Phelan has long championed the trades and the village workforce, believing that quality work merits the payment of livable wages. Whereas Mayor Phelan has instilled a climate of professionalism, planning, bipartisanship, relationship building, and teamwork around the village board table. Whereas the Heights under Mayor Phelan has become a destination for the arts, both visual and performing. Whereas the Heights now host among the most well-attended events in Central Illinois, enhancing its reputation as a fun, safe, and welcoming place. Whereas the Heights brand today is as solid as it ever has been, with the village and specifically its downtown enjoying regional esteem. And whereas Mayor Phelan is devoted to his community, a man of honor, dignity, and respect. We, the trustees of the Village of Peoria Heights, hereby testify that Mayor Mike Phelan is leaving the village government significantly better than he found it, setting the stage for a more prosperous future for all of us. You have made a night and day difference, and Peoria Heights is forever in your debt. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike.
Mayor Phelan, the village, all of administration, and this board would like to present you with this gift. You have touched so many people inside of this community. Your hard work and dedication does not go unnoticed. You have given back into service of this community more than anyone that I have experienced. I'd like to thank you personally for your dedication to bringing the younger generations into public service, because without your encouragement and education for me, I wouldn't be standing here today. I know other people also appreciate the fact that you have dedicated so much to showing people how important it is to give back to your community. So thank you very much.
Well, what a nice surprise. You know, I think we all grow up thinking our community is the best community in the world to grow up in, but it's really true here in Peoria Heights, because as I look around, you look out in Tower Park, you look out on Grandview Drive, you look in this great community, and there's just no other community like it. It's been a great honor being mayor of this community and working with such fine people here. So I'm usually not at a loss for words, but I'm at a loss for words tonight, and I don't know what to say other than to say thank you so very much for working with me. I would like all of my staff that I work with every day to just please stand real quickly. If you would, Sarah, you're back there. I saw Emily, Mark Walton, Chief Decker was here. I don't know if he left. Chief Sutton, Chris Chandler, Wayne Aldridge. I could go on, and I'm really afraid. Not to mention everyone in PD and fire and public works, but these are the folks that work with me every day. And I could start naming names and listing names, but we'd be here a long time tonight, and I won't do that because we need to get the next mayor and board sworn in. But I would be remiss if I didn't mention two people in particular, Sarah Whitrock and Dustin Sutton. Chief Sutton, thank you. If I were to describe someone perfect at customer service, professionalism, organization, I would have to come up with quite a few words to describe the best adjectives to use to describe customer service, but Sarah's sitting right there. She says it all. I've had the privilege of working with a lot of people in public service in my nearly 40 years in public service. I've never worked with a finer leader than Chief Sutton. Thank you.
Let's see your gavel. Heavy. Probably down here with heaven. No, I can't get it out of there, but it's beautiful, and it's like crystal. So there it is. Will I carry any weight at home? It's against me.
Oh, thank you, Dustin. Oh, that was a wonderful surprise, so thank you all. But back to Sarah, her customer service, she had to put up with me every day, not only working days, but I'm very demanding, and sometimes at night and sometimes on the weekends. And so she's the face of Village Hall, and I really appreciate all your efforts, Sarah. Chief Sutton, best thing I ever did was make him the administrator. Great police chief, that was already proven before I came along. But the best leader, and I've worked with a lot that I've ever known, so, and a great person. So very fortunate. Okay, any other miscellaneous business?
Yep, I got one thing, Mayor. This upcoming Friday and Saturday, we are having a community cleanup at the Public Works Garage. So we'll be providing dumpsters. So if you have furniture or mattresses that are too large for curb pickup, you can bring them to the Public Works Garage between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. this coming Saturday and Sunday. Not this coming, next Saturday and Sunday, the 16th and 17th.
Bring your ID.
And you'll have to bring a photo ID, and the dumpsters are provided at no additional cost to the residents.
Thank you, Trustee Weisenberg. Any other miscellaneous?
I do. I have something to report, Mayor. This afternoon, Director Aldrich, myself, Mike Bailey, along with Connie Hillman from A Matter of Taste, which was a restaurant, not a restaurant, rather a catering business that's been operating in the village of Peoria Heights for over 40 years and closed this year, all met at the Pump House with Jim Foley from Bradley University. And I wanted to report that they plan on opening in June. We're planning a ribbon cutting ceremony, and their website will be up and running within the next couple of weeks. So it's very exciting. It's an amazing addition to our community, and also an amazing collaboration between the village and the university.
Yes, thank you, I agree. Any other miscellaneous? We'd be at closing remarks. Any closing remarks? Jeff, anything?
Well, I don't have to sign any more checks yet tonight, so no more surprises, Stephanie. So.
Well, maybe one more time for Trustee Gat and Mayor Fahlen.
All right, if there's no other business to come before this board, Trustee Gat?
I make a motion to adjourn.
There's a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
There is. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Yeah.
Did you want to do, Mike, did you want to do one
Yeah,
more picture of Dustin?
a real quick photo with everyone on village administration and this board. Real quick one. Now that we got Dustin here, Chris and Sarah. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much. That thing's heavy. Thank you.
Yeah, it goes to my other ones I got the first time.
This is not your first rodeo.
No. Definitely my last.
Yeah, another happy customer, right?
Where you setting your stuff at? You set this.
Put forward if it's a son.
Are you moving me?
So is it gonna be like a guessing game?
I have no idea, but I would assume yes. I'll make this easy for you. I don't know if you're moving it. I don't know if you are, but I know I am.
Don't take it away.
Thank you, ma'am.
Are you moving? Sarah, is this gonna be a new line of sight for you or what?
Yeah, I've never been actually.
You're in this one?
Yeah.
You're moving closer to me.
Sorry about the noise.
Yeah, we can't bring it, but they're all in trouble.
I think Matt's in trouble if we're next to each other.
Hey, remember we used to sit side by side?
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of blasts from the past.
Can't make faces at Sarah anymore.
Oh, Beth is moving too. Oh, I didn't think that was gonna make me so emotional. Take my pen.
No, I sold Matt's already. I brought mine somewhere.
Wait, you need this too, this one's yours, I took the other one. Oh, well, this
Maybe I don't. You needed the phone. Yeah, I got the
immediately, okay, someone's missing it then. Because I haven't. Yeah, I did. When we're supposed to leave them?
Yeah, she told us that.
I didn't, she didn't tell me that.
I did not tell you for that.
This microphone is too close to me. Everybody had to go to the bathroom or something like that.
I thought maybe they'd move Wayne down there by you.
You used to get this with us.
I did, I got it.
Shut up.
I'm not sure I like this. I liked sitting next to Dustin. He answered all my questions. Sarah, can we flip a coin? Can I have my seat back?
She wants to arm wrestle you over the seat.
Take it up with the mayor. I don't.
Yeah, talk to the mayor.
What? Where am I? Right there. You're in my, no, you're in this.
Means that I'm like the least knowledgeable human being on the planet. I'm sitting next to Dustin because he knows more. Shush.
It's always good.
He is, yeah. Hey, this is work. I don't know. You're near. Wait. But if I'm not over, I guess we could do something. I don't know. But I do know.
Okay, okay.
He moved it. We all got different seats. Yeah, I did. I moved. Okay. One over.
Sarah and I are going to chat, because I
Okay, so we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order of the Village of Peoria Heights Board of Trustees. And our first order of business will be the swearing in of officials by Justice William Holdridge.
Hey, stranger. Told you I'd make it. I was moving. They rerouted me to Chicago. My flight landed at 4:34, so the time was 15 minutes. Hey, Judge. So Brandon pulled over. Good to see you. One fellow he stopped. But I managed for my coach for I can still run.
Did not pre-fill these out. I apologize, sir.
Oh, don't worry.
But if you don't mind doing my first, my name is Stephanie.
I mean, I have chemo. Because I need
Yeah, I think so. Dustin, Jennifer goes down there because she gets sworn back in.
Good evening. It's a privilege to swear in the village trustees, the new village trustees, and of course, the village president this evening. And as I pulled into the parking lot, anybody who says that municipal government is dead is wrong. I mean, you have a wonderful group of people here tonight who are interested in local government, municipal government particularly, and it's the best kind of government because you live with your elected officials, you know your elected officials, you can contact your elected officials, you don't have to go through layers of bureaucracy to complement their work and also to register complaints if you have one. So it is a privilege to see local municipal government working so well in the interest of the public in their local government. So this evening, we will begin with the first official, Stephanie Turner. Stephanie? Please raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, please state your name,
I, Stephanie Turner,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of village clerk
of the office of village clerk
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations. Now, who's that? Oh, you first?
Of course.
Oh,
Actually, no, I'm sorry, we should do him here first.
last.
Yes, we'll go ahead and do trustee Jennifer Riker, she's village trustee.
Okay. Will Jennifer Riker please come forward? Get the camera. Oh, no, my job. Could you please raise your right hand, Jennifer? Repeat after me. I,
I,
please state your name,
Jennifer Riker,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of village trustee
of the office of village trustee
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations.
Oh, no, I'm good, I'm listening.
Okay.
They hear me enough.
Yes. Will Teresa Simmons please come forward? Teresa, please raise your right hand. Repeat after
Yeah, because they
me.
say they can never hear me.
I, please state your name,
I, Teresa Simmons,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois.
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of village trustee
of the office of village trustee
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Pardon? Nathan Steinwell, please come forward. Please raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I. Please state your name. Do solemnly swear. That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States
And the Constitution of the State of Illinois.
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
And that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of village trustee
of village trustee
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations, Mayor. Yeah, he's a good guy. Okay, fair enough. Will Matt Wigginton please come forward? Please raise your right hand and repeat after me.
I,
Please state your name.
Matt Wigginton,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of village president
of the office of village president
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations, Mayor.
I'm going to say something there. So Justice Holdridge, don't go too far, because I want to first thank you for coming and being willing to come all this way from, your district is, I think, what? 21 counties. 21 counties. So I appreciate you finding some time to come down to the village of Peoria Heights. Yeah. So just a little bit about Justice Holdridge. I met him about 5 years ago, walking into just a breakfast that he was at, that I was going to, and sit down at a table, and Justice Holdridge says, well, what's your name and what do you do? And I said, well, I'm a lawyer. And it just so happened I was sitting next to two judges, Justice Holdridge and Judge Corey. So, man, do I know how to pick them. But thank you, friend Everson, so thank you very much. A couple of things that I want to make real quickly. First off, to my wife, Christine, who I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here right now. It was her decision to make the move, and she said, Matt, let's go check out the Peoria area. And so we came out here, and we knew instantly this was the place that we wanted to raise our kids. And so thank you for that. Thank you for being willing to let me do this. So thank you. Next thanks would be my two girls here, Adelaide and Cecily. I want to thank you. They don't recognize the sacrifices that they are making when I do this. So I don't get to see them as much as I would like, and I think, unfortunately, that's going to be even more so now with this position. I think Mike could probably attest to, but I really appreciate my two girls, and thanks for letting Dad do this. Most importantly, also, is my community. I want to thank you all for having the faith in me to take on this position, to be the head cheerleader for Peoria Heights, and that's my job. My job now is advocating for us, making sure that we we get ahead, and so I plan to take that seriously. And frankly, we've been doing that since, I got elected, which I want to thank my mom, who's sitting here as well. Mom, I'm such a good cheerleader for Peoria Heights that I got her to move across the country from Virginia to come to the Peoria area as well. Unfortunately, I couldn't get her a house. You guys know how hard it is to find a house here. But I did get her close, so I couldn't get her as a voter, but she's in the area. So thank you, Mom. I also want to finally thank Mayor Fahlen. There are transitions that are good and there are transitions that are bad. And Mike has gone out of his way to make sure that this is the smoothest transition possible. He has introduced me to people that I didn't know, politicians down in Springfield that I didn't have a relationship with, people in our community, leaders either in civic, commercial, labor, what have you. Mike has gone out of his way, Mayor Fahlen has gone out of his way to make sure that the success of Peoria Heights continues. I think that's a testament to him. It's a testament to his leadership. I have been, I count him as a mentor. Like Trustee DeVore said, he found young people, brought them on, said, Mike or Matt, it's time maybe to do the zoning board. Maybe it's time to be clerk of Richwoods Township. Maybe it's time to run for trustee. And every step of the way, he's kind of pointed me in the right direction, and he continues to do so. So thank you, Mike, for all your guidance and, again, making this as smooth as transition as it possibly could have been. So I really appreciate that. So thank you all. Thank you, Justice Holdridge. Okay. Well, thank you again, Judge Holdridge. Thank you again, Clerk Turner, for signing those things. Okay, can wait.
It's not the U.S. Congress.
It looks familiar, but
I don't like it over here.
Thank you, Justice Holdridge. Okay, so we'll go ahead and move along. One announcement, I'm going to go ahead and name committee assignments for our trustees. So continuing along with administration, Trustee DeVore has been a real success. I know that she and Chief Sutton work well together. So Trustee DeVore, my pleasure to keep you on as administration. Thank you for all your help.
Thank you, Mayor.
Moving on to economic development, again, continuing on with success. Trustee Kazam, you'll continue in economic development. Thank you for all your efforts and what you bring to the village.
Thank you. I continue proudly.
With our water infrastructure and the planned investments that we have being made to our water department with both a filtration as well as water main replacement as well as lead line replacements, I'm making a little change this time, and I'm going to be creating a new committee that with the water department. So for that department, I am naming Trustee Simmons as the head of our water department.
Thank you, Mayor, for trusting me with that category. I'll do a good job for you and the community.
Thank you. Thank you. Moving on, so with that, with Public Works, we will be creating a new department that covers all of our other public assets, including Village Hall, our fire department, Station 1 as well as Station 2 below the hill, our parks, as well as our intergovernmental agreement with Richwoods Township, which is our public works facility on Cox. So handling all of this, plus our neighborhoods, will be Trustee Reichert. Congratulations. With the investments that we have made in public safety, I plan to break apart the police and fire committee and name trustees to specifically handle both, one individual department as well as the other. We've made significant investments over the last 4 years in the fire department. So heading up our fire department committee will be Trustee Nathan Steinwell. So that leaves police, and that's Trustee Weisenberg. Trustee Weisenberg has previously handled the police on his first term and did an amazing job. And I know that, or was it fire? Was it fire? Oh, well, he did a good job there, too.
Thank you, Mayor.
But I know he'll do an equally as good job handling the police, so congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, so moving along, we'll move to any comments from the audience. Do we have any comments from the audience tonight? Comments going once, twice. Comments are closed. We'll proceed to new business. So with the resignation that we just accepted on our last meeting of Mr. Kevin Shields, I've been looking for some way to keep Mayor Fahlen involved. I want to grab him by the lapels and figure out a way to keep him. And this just fell into my lap. So I am so pleased to appoint Mike Fahlen, Mr. Michael E. Fahlen, to the unexpired term on the Metropolitan Airport Authority of Peoria Board of Commissioners for 2025 through 2026. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have approved, moved and seconded. So believe it or not, Mike is in the building tonight. I don't know if we have any questions about his CV, but any questions or comments? Then I guess we'll hear a roll call vote for that.
All right. Trustee Steinwaddle?
Present.
Aye or nay to approve the, okay. Trustee Kazam?
Aye.
Trustee Simmons?
Aye.
Trustee DeVore?
Aye.
Trustee Weisenberg?
Aye.
Trustee Reichert? Aye.
Okay, the next on the agenda is a request for street closure of Prospect Road from Kelly Avenue to Cyberlane Avenue for the Mount Moon Festival on August the 30th. We'll ask for motion from Trustee Weisenberg, I think.
I move to approve the street closure on Prospect Road.
Second.
Okay. Looks like we have some representatives, so please go right ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon or good evening. My name is Erica Taylor. I'm representing the 33 Room, which is the cocktail lounge in the Pabst building. For the past 2 years, we have been the host of the Mount Moon Music Festival, almost since the beginning of the festival. This year, we are looking to increase the visibility of it and move it to the front of the building rather than the parking lot. So we are requesting 1 block of Prospect Avenue from Kelly to Zeberling to be closed in both directions for 1 full day on August 30th. It's a Saturday. I am joined by other members of the 33 Room and also by the 3 leaders of the Mount Moon Music Festival, who are going to be happy to explain a little bit more about the festival. And then Dan Crawford will talk about the business aspect of the festival. Thank you.
Good afternoon, and congratulations to everybody in new positions. My name is Logan Wheaton. This is Jonathan Voda and Griffin Gorgeous. If it's okay, John would like to hand out a couple marketing materials that we've made for the festival. These documents are specifically targeted to businesses that we are requesting sponsorship from, so not intended for this meeting, but thought they may be useful for context. So thank you again for hearing our request. For the last 2 years, Mount Moon Collective has had the pleasure of hosting our music festival, Mount Moon Festival, in Peoria Heights in collaboration with the 33 Room. We are incredibly excited at the potential of bringing Mount Moon Fest to Prospect Drive itself this August, expanding its impact beyond the space behind the 33 Room, and allowing it to encompass a much larger portion of the Peoria Heights community. Mount Moon Fest is a multi-day event celebrating creative culture featuring talented local and touring musicians. Designed to feel both intimate and electric, Mount Moon Fest features a curated lineup of indie, folk, psych rock, and punk artists, creating an accessible environment for anyone to come and enjoy. Our organization, Mount Moon Collective, is an independent concert promotion group focused on supporting local musicians, artists, and businesses by creating safe and engaging live music events for our community. We've produced events at many Peoria venues, including the 3300 Event Center, Cafe Santa Rosa, Luthi Botanical Gardens, and the Castle Theater in Bloomington. Allowing Mount Moon Fest to take place on Prospect Drive would bring our audience, containing hundreds of young, passionate live music fans, directly to the heart of Peoria Heights, providing a memorable atmosphere and a significant increase in downtown foot traffic. Since 2022, Mount Moon Fest has raised nearly $15,000 for Peoria nonprofits, including Jolt Harm Reduction and the Center for Prevention of Abuse. This year, we are excited to partner with Lula NFP, a Peoria-based organization focused on homelessness outreach and support. Given the growth that our festival has experienced year over year, we are expecting to make a substantial growth in both attendance and funds raised this year. With the help of larger sponsorship and support from you, the Peoria Heights City Council, we expect that we can bring close to 1,000 concert goers to Peoria Heights this year and raise over $8,500 for Lula NFP. Thank you again for considering our proposal, as we hope to make Mount Moon Festival 2025 more impactful than ever before.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, and congratulations on all of you. I just wanted to add real quick. I attached myself to the 33 Room this year, October, so I'm a fairly new owner of that business, but I've owned a business in the Heights as Cabbages and Kings Games since 2015, 2016-ish. They do a lot of good and raise money for a lot of charities. I do a lot of local charity work and volunteer on boards. I just thought it would be great to involve the entire whole of the Heights and get all the businesses involved instead of part of it just being the 33 Room. So I've spoke to other business owners in the Heights that are already on board, regardless whether it moves to the street, So we have Robbie Matheson with Poor Brothers and Slow Hand. We have Busted Brewing involved. We also have Cafe Santa Rosa, Cabbages and Kings Games, the 33 Room, and many more that I've already talked to. They just haven't solidified what their role is yet. I just think it's a great idea and a great way to get the community involved, to bring all the businesses together and try to, raise some tax dollars for the city of Peoria Heights. I mean, I'm a longtime resident, so it only made sense. Thank you.
Okay, are we all done with the president? Okay, great. So I'll open that up now to board questions.
I'll go first. I have a list.
Okay.
So on this promotion, it says it's August 29th and 30th. So is it 1 day or 2 days?
We're looking to have the street for 1 day. What we'll be doing is having a smaller evening concert at Cafe Santa Rosa that Friday night.
Okay. And then do you have times that this will be going on?
For Saturday?
Both days.
We don't have Friday locked in. We're intent on, they'll be opening up their beer garden space, and we're hoping to have music starting in the late afternoon, early evening, 5-ish, 6-ish, into probably 10 or 11. And then Saturday, we're hopeful to have as much time as we can get. In the past, in the parking lot, we've had music from 12 to 11. And so we'd look to try and do the same thing.
Okay. So as far as getting other people involved, there is a lot of businesses on that block that are going to be impeded from this. So have you reached out to all of those businesses at this point to see if they want to take part in this event? You have the 12 Bar, Sullivan's, other places?
I've reached out to most of the businesses on the block. There's a couple I have not hit yet, like Aura Salon and the Boutique. But I've reached out to Sullivan, almost everybody on the block. I've made my rounds, but I haven't made it to everywhere yet. So far, everyone is interested and willing to take part in it in some fashion or another.
Okay. Have you thought about what you're going to do? Because if this is an excessive amount of people, what about bathrooms, garbage, and security?
So previously in the past, when it was been held in the parking lot of the 33 Room, they've taken care of the garbage, they've taken care of stage, bathrooms, porta potties, everything. There was almost 1,000 attendees last year in the parking lot, so it's not out of the question that we're already taking care of it, and it's already taken place for the last 2 years. It's just my thought was just to involve more people. I'm a big community person, and I thought this was a great way to involve the community, along with raising money for a great cause.
Yeah. No, I think definitely when we close the streets, it does bring a big draw. I just want to make sure that we have all of our bases covered. And since you've had it more of a private event and didn't have to come here to us before, I don't have as much background knowledge on the garbage and the bathrooms and things like that you have had previously.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah. That's all my questions.
Any other questions? Okay, hearing none, we'll call the vote.
Okay. Trustee Steinwaddle?
Aye.
Trustee Kazam?
Aye.
Trustee Simmons?
Aye.
Trustee DeVore?
Aye.
Trustee Weisenberg?
Nay.
Trustee Reichert? Aye.
That motion carries. Okay, so next on the agenda is Resolution 2025-11, a resolution approving an extension of an agreement with Cardinal Infrastructure for federal advisory and lobbying services. Trustee DeVore?
I make a motion to approve Resolution 2025-11.
Second.
Okay, Trustee DeVore?
Okay, so we have an agreement with Cardinal Infrastructure that we have used them for a while. So they have helped us and been very influential in making us get contacts so that we can receive federal grants. Director Aldridge works with them more directly than I do, but they have been very influential. And this is just updating our contract with them. As you notice, there is an increase from what we paid last year to this year, but we did prepare and budget for that.
Director Aldridge, do you want to add anything?
Just, many of you don't see our direct dealings with Cardinal, but they've always been very influential with the DC delegation. And I always think with the agencies, as we deal with the folks out in DC, they know which doors to open and can open them for us. So, even though we're a small community, I think we've got great advocates in DC. So anything that comes along, you know, you're informed of. Sometimes they have us draft letters and send them to delegates and things like that. But I've always thought they perform very well. Any type of help we need from them, including grants, they assist with that, but certainly assist, again, with the delegates and letting them know we exist and what our needs are. So I've always thought that the fee we paid before was very reasonable, and I think this is very reasonable as well. So
I would like to echo that. I think having this type of representation in Washington, D.C. at this price is incredibly invaluable.
Thank you, Trustee Kazam. Any other comments or questions? Okay, then we'll go on to the vote.
Trustee Steinwaddle?
Aye.
Trustee Kazam?
Aye.
Trustee Simmons?
Aye.
Trustee DeVore?
Aye.
Trustee Weisenberg?
Aye.
Trustee Reichert?
Aye.
That motion carries. Okay, our final order of the business tonight is ordinance 2025-1762, an ordinance approving and authorizing the extension of a second amendment to the TIF District redevelopment agreement by and between the Village of Peoria Heights, Peoria County, Illinois, and P.H. Samuel, LLC, Peoria Heights, TIF District 3. Trustee Kazam,
I make a motion to approve.
is there a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Trustee DeVore. So, Trustee Kazam, do you want to
Yeah,
tackle
I'll speak to
this?
this, and then I'll ask Director Aldrich to just follow up. I'll give a basic overview. We entered into a TIF agreement in 2018, I believe, with the entity called P.H. Samuel. This was for a redevelopment of the Samuel Road. The proposal at the time was that the developers would purchase multiple properties. The first phase would be completing a mixed-use building, which does now exist. That portion has been completed. And then they purchased, I believe, 16 or more homes along that road, and their intention was to redevelop each one of those homes into single-family residences. In that development, in that agreement, after they hit a certain threshold, and correct me if I'm wrong, Director Aldrich, the Village of Peoria Heights would then bond and redevelop that street. Things changed. The first phase 1 project was completed. 2 other homes were built, but then the other properties were sold to another developer. So this is where we are just basically cleaning this up, and I'll let Director Aldrich take it from there.
Yes, thank you. And Nick Nelson is here. I'll ask Nick to step up to the podium. Nick's our attorney with Jacob and Klein, and Nick handles most of our redevelopment agreements. So basically, Trustee Kazam explained the big part of it. What we called phase 1 was the condo building, which was built, and then phase 2 was all the other properties. So those are sold off, so that substantially changed the way the agreement looked and the way the development looked. And associated with that, of course, was the street construction. The original agreement said we would bond for the street construction for 2 blocks and pay for those bonds through TIF funds from the development. So as the TIF fund, as the development shrunk, so did the street project shrank to 1 block, which, if you know me, I never did like that because I don't like shrinking road projects like that. But it just became kind of awkward, and we all knew the redevelopment agreement had to be redone. So many years, really, in looking at this redevelopment and discussions with the developer to modify the agreement. Of course, the phase 2 projects, most of those were bought by a developer who's actively improving those properties, and so this kind of relieves any obligation of this developer that developer may have had before under the provisions of the existing agreement. And then it does not require at this point the village to bond for the road improvements. So if the village indeed wants to do that road improvement eventually, it will be totally up to the board whether that happens and when that happens. I think those were the major provisions of the agreement. Nick, anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, this solves 2 major headaches with this agreement. One is the bonding of the public improvements. The other headache was it did include all the phase 2 properties. those are all being removed from the agreement in terms of the increment that's going to be reimbursable to PH Samuel from it. This is a key feature to this amendment and why I would strongly recommend approving it. It'll just remove those. The developer will still get reimbursed for any costs incurred on any of those properties because there were some land acquisition, there was some cleanup and some other costs, but the village will then be free to use that increment generated by those properties to work with any new developer that comes across. So I would definitely recommend doing this amendment for that reason especially.
I would also like to say, you know, I've been involved with this project for many years. This amendment has been in the works for at least 2 years, Nick, am I wrong?
Too long, yeah.
Okay, 2+ years, and it's fits and starts, you know, slow progress and then no progress, and then, you know, it's time to clean everything up. The project, as developed, does not resemble what we anticipated when we originally entered the agreement. And so both sides have a lot of reasons to make the agreement reflect what actually happened on the ground. So I too encourage adoption of this amendment.
I just have a question. I agree wholeheartedly that this needs to be, you know, cleaned up and come to an end. But I don't see it now. I can't put my finger on it. But when I read this initially, there is a request to add other developers. So there's the Charles Kim and Katie Kim as developers. I think originally it was just PH Samuel. I just don't see representation from them here this evening, and I want to make sure that the request, they have the you know, acknowledgement of their original partners, that, you know, they have a fiduciary responsibility to them. I'm concerned that.
The reason for and I think we've done multiple amendments like this, and that feature of this one is that there were other developers that incurred costs for this project. And so we've had to do this on other agreements where we had added another, because a lot of time a project will have multiple entities that are part of the project, and that we have to later add one of those other entities because they did incur a cost. And so those two entities incurred some land acquisition costs that are reimbursable under this agreement. And so it's being done for that reason.
So, but the original partners that were in PH Samuel are completely aware of this request.
Oh, yes.
To have developers added, and it's.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you done? I didn't want to
Yeah,
interrupt you.
I think
Okay.
so. Sorry, I got that a little bit jumbled.
No, that's okay. So, per the original agreement, when these properties were sold, how does that not affect the original agreement? So right now, we're saying that you're strongly encouraging us to do this so that we can get out of the bonding for road improvements, but they already made changes to what the agreement was prior, and we didn't change the contract then. So why are we legally bound to have to bond out for the road improvements, but they weren't legally bound to tell us that they sold off half the properties that were in the initial agreement?
Well, I mean, this was a residential, I mean, most of it was a residential project. The intention is to sell the properties. The problem is the developer didn't undertake any of the improvements before they sold the property. So the village is not going to want to reimburse any increment generated by those properties going forward for something that the developer actually never did.
So right now, if we don't approve this, we're legally bound to pay out the increment, the TIF to her for buildings that she doesn't own?
This gets rid of any gray area where they may have an argument that you would have to do that.
Okay.
It's not.
They would have an argument that we could do that, or that we just for sure have to do that?
This cleans up any ambiguity in the agreement.
I think the best way to describe it is this frees up those properties that were not developed for another developer to come in.
Okay,
They're otherwise subject to this agreement, and what that means going forward is open, and that doesn't lend itself to another developer wanting to get involved.
I guess I just don't understand how an entity can sell a property that they personally had an agreement with, and then now it has a different owner, but they're still getting the TIF increment financing from them.
They're not. That's the point.
But they potentially would, right? So if the person who owns them now does the development, then this entity is still getting the increase of revenue for that. Like, I don't get how that's possible.
There are other agreements that allow for the sale of the property and the benefits to remain with the original owner. And then that happens a lot with residential development, because obviously you're going to have more in the nature of subdivisions, but you're gonna have a developer that comes in, puts in a subdivision. They're gonna sell off all the homes, but they're gonna retain the increment to reimburse for the cost of putting all the infrastructure in. That's a common feature in residential agreements, and this is definitely a residential project.
Okay, so just to clarify, if we do not approve this, we are bound to having to do the road improvements. We're bound by the first contract to do the road improvements for the first block.
You're not bound by the contract because the developer never did enough development to cover the full cost of the full scope of the public improvements.
Okay? But we are saying that like it's important to pass this, one, for the previous, for the new owners of the property, but also so we don't have to bond the road improvements. So where am I missing the dots?
It gets rid of any of the confusion brought about by all of those provisions.
Okay. Since this has been going on for years, do we, like, all of the legal fees for this are then accrued by the village? It does not go back to the developer? So since this has been going on and we've been in this back and forth with the developer on doing this amendment, who pays for that? We pay for it?
Whose legal fees?
Nick's coming to BDD.
Okay, but the village is paying for it.
Yes, for what we do.
So we're paying for all of this work for you guys to have been doing this for years, is what you're saying?
Our fees are a flat fee and we don't charge hourly. So any work that I put in, any hours I put in, is covered by our base fee. That doesn't change whether we have those conversations or not.
Okay, so then listed on this Exhibit 3 is approved eligible project costs. So were we provided receipts for some of this, or is this just like in a finding, the developer told us that's what they spent, but we have no backup for this?
So the developer is required to provide documentation of any costs incurred. That goes through our office. We verify it to make sure that the costs are eligible costs as that's defined by the TIF Act, and that the developer did actually pay for those costs, and then provided that those costs are reimbursable under the agreement as well. So what you have in front of you is, after our review of the costs submitted by the developer, that includes any costs submitted, and then the aggregate of costs approved, and then it's got I think you may have what's owed to the developer based on the increment generated to date.
I know you guys have been working on this for years, and I thank you so much for your work and effort to it, but we just got this information on Friday. So I do feel like it's kind of like a lot to digest, especially for half this board never having talked anything about this project before. And I also just feel like that no one on here approved the first, that sits here today, was even involved with this first agreement with them. And I just feel like we're constantly giving, and we have a project that doesn't even look a quarter of the way finished, and we just have to keep giving to it. So I'll let my other trustees talk, but I don't feel like I'm in a position that I even have enough information to vote on this.
If I could respond to that comment just real quick. I would state that under this amendment, the developer is entitled to nothing in addition to what the developer was originally entitled to. The percentages remain the same. The only difference is this provides for the use of some public space for parking, dedicated parking to the multi-use project. But that will be at no cost to the village. So there's nothing in addition, other than that, there's nothing in addition that the developer would be getting under this amendment.
I'm sorry, it might not be a cost to the village, but it's still rewarding a developer that didn't do what they were supposed to do, which causes the confusion with the original agreement. So we're still giving the developer something, whether or not it cost us anything, but the developer never finished the project. That's one of my.
I would agree with that, and I think there's a lot of questions up here that haven't been answered. We don't have a representative from this project in front of us. Questions such as, are they going to be leasing the parking spaces that are going to be given on public property? Things of that nature that I assume you guys don't know the answers to. With that being said, I would make a motion to table this for another meeting.
I agree. I was just getting ready to mention as well, Mayor, if I may, I'd like to make a motion to defer. I'd like to get my head in the game, learn more about what the previous agreement was, have some legal guidance again, and move forward at another date.
Okay, and so a motion to defer is always in order. Do you have a specific time frame that you would like to bring this back up?
What would someone recommend? With me being new on the board, sorry, I'm not sure what that would entail.
Perhaps a
I would
month.
say within, like, we don't need an exorbitant amount of time, so I would either say
Right.
if.
June 3rd meeting.
the
I want to
June-
be able to
the June
review
3rd
the
meeting.
information, past meetings, what's been said in the public, and
So would you be open to your motion being, I move to defer to the June 3rd meeting?
I think that's a good accommodation for making sure that we have plenty of time to review the information.
Okay.
Second.
Okay. So that's seconded by Trustee Weisenberg. That motion is now up for debate. Is there any questions or? Mr. Nelson, maybe one question for you, and maybe Council Walton can talk about this. So what Trustee Kazam mentioned about adding the two individuals as well as this NXG Properties, how, in your negotiation for this, how important was that to the parties?
Not important. It's more a matter of, that's common practice for other agreements to add developers that have also incurred costs. So I mean, I don't think the developer was pushing really hard for that. It's entirely possible that the developer never hits their cap with the increment generated by what they have done, whether phase one. So, I don't know that that's necessarily a deal breaker.
My only concern, and again, what Trustee Kazam had mentioned was that this P.H. Samuel, the original developer, every document that was signed by P.H. Samuel was signed by this individual as manager of P.H. Samuel, and now this individual wants to be named individually as a developer as well. Does that pose any legal risk to the village or to the developers?
No.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments or questions on this motion to defer to June 3rd? If not, we'll call the roll.
Trustee Steinwaddle?
Aye.
Trustee Kazam?
Aye.
Trustee Simmons?
Aye.
Trustee DeVore?
Aye.
Trustee Weisenberg?
Aye.
Trustee Reichert? Aye.
Motion carries. Bring that up on June the 3rd. Any miscellaneous business to come before the board?
I'd like to mention that this weekend, we're having a fine arts fair here at Tower Park. Prospect Road will be closed from Glen to Kingman for that event. That closing will begin at 6 a.m. Saturday morning, and it will end at 6 p.m. Saturday night. And we just ask that everybody please drive carefully through the detours and enjoy the event.
Thank you, Superintendent Chandler. I also want to thank you and the Public Works staff for getting the Tower Park up and looking so beautiful. I see the fountain running out there, so thank you to you and your team.
Thank you. Yep.
Mayor?
Yes.
Next week, I believe it's Wednesday through Friday, our zoning group will be here again doing several public meetings, so they'll be here at Village Hall. I think on Friday, they're also going to set up on Prospect Road to get, passersby and get their opinion about things. So that team will be here. Along with them will be our parking consultants. So they will be here doing interviews, I believe, on Wednesday and maybe Thursday mornings. So again, just getting started with that project. And the other consultant that will be here is Hanson Professional Services with their landscape architect will be here, and other members of their team will be here. So it's kind of a neat opportunity to get these projects kind of going together and having folks being able to talk to any of these people about these projects. But still in kind of preliminary phases, certainly on parking and with Prospect Road, but a little bit farther along with zoning, but really looking for folks' opinions.
Yep, this is really the opportunity for people to express their feeling about these different big projects. So we really encourage people to come and participate.
Well, thank you, Director Aldrich, for all your help with that, and of course, Trustee Kazam as well. Any other miscellaneous business? If not, Trustee Weisenberg?
Oh, I move to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We are adjourned.
Do you want to ask any questions about that?
I like that. I like that.
I can't answer them.
Keep us on our toes.
Because we have to deal with it. You know, we have to talk about this.
Oh, yeah, we had,
You're doing it.
well, we had Nick there.
I know, I was like, I didn't sit here and not second it. I was like, I know, I think he's mad at me though. He should. I'm sorry. She wants parking. So we give her parking. You know who else is going to want parking? Everybody else. Everybody else. The attorney.